Second game in the first best of 3 series of the day takes place on Habitation Station, and starting to the top left of the map we have for Alien Invasion, also known as Krr. And starting to the top right we have his opponent, HeroMarine, down 1 game in the best of 3 series after losing on Frost. Currently here starting once again in red for Team Mousesports. This is the finals of the Winamax Expresso Invitational. We have Alien Invasion and Mousesports going all the way. But overall in the tournament currently the score is still 0-0. The first best of 3 series here is going to decide who takes the lead. Game number 2 is going to be Starbuck versus Golden. Now, for a second I was struggling a little bit to remember who the Alien Invasion player was he was facing. I personally really hope that we're going the full distance today, because the ace match that we would have then is going to be Vortex versus Patience, and I really don't want to miss out on that. Would be great if that would be the series that we see today. And actually looking at what HeroMarine currently is doing, and this is already a little bit of a change of pace from what he did in the first game. We currently have him with the Refinery first, starting with the gas first here and then going into Barracks. I very much believe that Krr is going to scout that, and with that probe that we now see also on the map, that is definitely going to be the case. So he's going to try and find out what happens in the town player's main base, and he will see that Refinery and the timing, will check how much gas has been mined, and is going to be like, well, you definitely started with the gas first, so I might be up against all kinds of shenanigans. We have actually seen quite a lot of builds. We have seen Banshee play, not really all that common in the matchup anymore. At least not if you compare it to how it's being used in a few different matchups, for example the Terran versus Terran in particular, the mirror matchup here. But also another thing that we could see is still a 1-base push that every now and then comes into play. Not really all that common, but still I'm very curious to see what exactly HeroMarine is going to do with that. 1-base push is something that, for example, also in Terran versus Terran comes into play quite some time. We have seen players like Hart, for example, do that, and it is very strong against Protoss as well if you execute it properly. And of course, the more so if you can surprise your opponent. At this point, Krr at least knows that something's going on, but he doesn't really know what exactly. The SCV of HeroMarine just sneaking into the main base of the Protoss player is going to find the double gas here. And yeah, already a probe down the way at the bottom left, apparently having a quick look if there's maybe something proxied, which could also of course be the case. And especially when you think about the beginning of Heart of the Swarm, one of the things we've seen quite a bit is, for example, proxy Widow Mine and then just running it into your opponent's base, and that probe is very, very eager to find out what's happening there. And talking about the Widow Mines, that is actually exactly what we currently see here. We have the Widow Mine building in the factory, and at the same time, all the way back at home for Krr, it is the start into the robotics facility, and that will of course enable him to get observers on the map, get the detection that he needs to deal with Banshees, with Widow Mines, and just very, very safe opener here by him. The expansions, therefore, a little bit later. I look at that probe. That probe is such a meticulous work, such a great work ethic here. It's just going all the way across the map in zigzags and trying to find out what's going on. And talking about trying to find out what's going on, those Marines are there to prevent that. Krr is doing exactly that. If there's a mothership core, the Marines will be there. And they will say like, yep, not today, buddy. But at the same time, we could see an observer moving in. Oh, wow. Actually, the Widow Mine gets the first kill off. Apparently, that Stalker got a little bit too excited there. Moved forward, and the Widow Mine just took him out immediately. So, Krr not going to be too happy about that. Not only did he not get any scouting information, but he lost his opening Stalker. And that, yeah, that always leaves you with that very weird feeling in your stomach. Like, ooh, really? It's like if you eat old yogurt and you know that it's like it's still tasty, but you know that might be bad, and then you're like, well, maybe I get punished for that. And that's kind of exactly the same thing. Yeah, if you give in to your vices too often, then you might get punished for that. And right now we have the medevac going cross-map, but as mentioned already before, we have the observers. And Krr, as I said, he's playing it safe. He's not only getting this one observer, no, he is also building another one so that he can deal with an incoming push all the way back at home. Double Hellion at the front, trying to kill at least one of those harvesters. Well, there's also the Widow Mine, and you know what? He might be able to force a cancel here. Nope, the Widow Mine goes down because we have the observer in position. So this bunker is never gonna happen, and HeroMarine's attack, at least for now, was shut down. The observer making it possible. Without that, it's a completely different story. The Widow Mine is gonna burrow here, then he has to kinda trigger it somehow or lose a Stalker. Then he loses time, the bunker might complete, and then he might lose the Nexus here, I have to cancel it. All the way back at home, we already see the expansion for HeroMarine would give him a massive lead here. Doesn't really happen that way, but that was the idea. Now, of course, it's time for those Hellions to shine, but with the Mothership Core in position, and yeah, one Hellion going down to the Photon Overcharge, this game not really opening the way that HeroMarine was hoping for. So at this point, if you just look at the numbers, we are 31 against 27 Harvesters. No big deal there. It's kind of what you expect with the Chrono Boost going up against the need to get your orbital into place and therefore losing the time to build additional SCVs. But then the Mules more than make up for that. We have also the scouting information for Krr here moving in. But the expansion is just a little bit faster for Krr, saturating the 2 mineral lines. Double forged for him once again. And with that, he is very, very much ahead of what we see for his opponent. Because the problem that we currently have for HeroMarine is that he does not even have a single engineering bay, if I'm not mistaken. And you have confirming it here at the structure tab. We do not see that engineering bay. It's currently being built by HeroMarine, which means that we will have that upgrade lead once again for the Protoss player. And this time it's going to be even worse than in game number 1. And it really did a number on HeroMarine, didn't it? So he needs to be very careful here. The drop in the main base could of course turn things in his favor if he's able to kill a little bit more than only the pylon, which I highly doubt with the warping that we have there. But the rest of the army is currently busy with this move at the bottom, so suddenly with 2 kills already and a few more probe kills, HeroMarine is doing a great job saving that medevac all the way at the top as well. And looking at the units lost, that's 7 probes killed by now, so really well done by HeroMarine after all. That drop that he had at 2 points coming in really did quite some damage. The one in the top taking down one of the pylons and then even doing a little bit more pressure. At the same time, this one able to just borrow that one Widow Mine down here and killing a few additional Harvesters. So good job with that. Twilight Council now coming up as well to make sure that the +2/+2 can be started, but that's not the only thing that's incoming. Incoming is a drop to the right, taking down the Mothership Core, who in the last second just takes on another Photon Overcharge. So for now at least, Krr was able to make sure that the Mothership Core was not completely wasted, but of course it dies regardless. Another thing that didn't die, by the way, is that medevac here, so he was able to sneak that out once more. The Widow Mine is still there, so he could use that. The problem is really that he doesn't know where exactly the Observer is positioned, but we have already more units moving out, so HeroMarine is really starting to do a bit of a number on Krr here, going straight for it and pushing his opponent back. That Colossus, on the other hand, is going to help a lot with the Bioforce that's coming cross map right now. We do not have the combat shield just yet. It's just on the way, so the Marine's still on 45 hit points. And another thing that we really do not have is a lot of medevacs. There are 2 right now, but they are already low in energy. There's one coming into the main base, another one already there, the natural. Nice burrow here. Does he get the shot off? Yes, he does. Only 1 kill though. The main bulk of the army is already moving forward here, trying to move in again, but it's only a distraction since the main base is double dropped immediately. Not a lot of Marines here present, but they are enough to take down even more Harvesters. And this bulk over here takes down a couple of the gateways as well. Job well done by HeroMarine here, and Krr is starting to fall apart a little bit. Like, he's really struggling against this. And this Colossus needs to be super careful with all those Marauders. It's not going to be safe for him. So many Harvesters taken down already. 15 in total. And HeroMarine really showing his macro skills here. Taking down another pylon, unpowering those 2 structures here. Killing another pylon in the making. Once more the double drop moving in. And he's just hitting him left, right the entire time. Very well done here. Might lose 1 medevac in the end, but I have to really give it to HeroMarine here. He's doing an amazing job with that. His opponent is supplier blocked, is hard pressed. We have a 3rd base coming up for HeroMarine in the main base. Also, of course, additional upgrades here. He had to call down extra supplies, so was supply blocked a little bit. We can just double check that with our supply block chart here all the way at the top. In total, 86 seconds of supply block. Not too bad if you consider how many pylons he killed, and he forced Krr into several supply blocks already. But here comes once again that drop, and he always just keeps Krr on his toes right now. A completely different game from what we had in game number 1. HeroMarine's pressure really paying off. There's no way for Krr to get a 3rd base or anything else. Once again, the Talon player moves in, and he means serious business right now. Takes down the Stalkers already, and that Colossus taken down by the single Marauder that we just saw there. Once again, the Talon player moving back, not even losing a medevac. The Stalkers would be well advised to not overextend here. He can't lose those. We currently have a situation where with 55 army supply, HeroMarine is very much in the lead against the 18 of his opponent. The 3-3 upgrades have been started, so in that regard, he's definitely ahead. A if he can hold on long enough, then maybe it will turn in favor of Khaldor. But for now, it's the Terran player who's making the moves. But really, upgrades are going to become an issue here later on. That is for certain if he can survive. But a 30 supply for HeroMarine is maybe going to be a little bit too much for now. The 2-2 on the other hand is done. So HeroMarine is doing a lot of pressure, but he's living on borrowed time right now. He really needs to do even more than that, because if at some point Khaldor is able to move cross map with a big army, it might be lights out for the channel player. But think about his position. Not only does he do damage, he has a third base all the way back at home. So he's really building up that army. And time might be working against him when it comes to the upgrades. But in economy, it's really working for him. He's building up a massive army behind this, and he's making sure that he is not falling too far behind with a double engineering bay right now, going for the double upgrades on his own. Still trailing behind, no question about that, but still, so much damage done already, and always kept the opponent low, always making sure that Khaldor does not have a chance to really get additional bases there. So at this point, we have HeroMarine also with the Ghosts coming in even before the Storm upgrade is completed here with the Templar Archive. And guess what? Another drop heading for the main base at the third base actually. We have another Marine just in position waiting for the third base to be started. And it's again pylon time. He's moving for the pylon, takes it down. No production out of those. Kills 1, 2, 3 additional harvesters. Takes down a fourth, and in totally took down 20 over the course of the game. Very well done. This one probe could of course go for another forward pylon here, but so far not really all that successful. And guess what? That dropship just doesn't stop. It keeps just going and going and going. The 3-3 upgrades, on the other hand, they are completed, or about to be. HeroMarine with the army supply lead, 95 against 64, is about to complete his +2 attack upgrade. Needs a little bit more time for that, but Khaldor decided that it's time to just do at least some damage now with his army. Now that he has the 3-3 done and has this lead, because HeroMarine is still at the 1-1 upgrade. He needs the 2-2, and that's what he's going for right now. The problem that Khaldor is really facing here is that HeroMarine basically has all the counters already. He has the Vikings, he's going for the Ghosts. I love the sensor tower here, just making those moves and saying like, yep, come at me, bro. Come on my level, because at this point, if you don't win it right now, then this is gonna be my game, and we will have to fight on the third map. So we have Khaldor also, of course, with the knowledge that this is going to be the case here. Scan already revealing the position of the Protoss player, and the +2 attack upgrade is already done. Here come the Vikings getting their first shots off, and well, that one Colossus is most likely going to go down, and he doesn't have any more than that. The Ghosts doing their damage as well, going in for the snipes, can use the EMP, start to kill the first few zealots, and Khaldor just realizes that this is not going to happen now. So he tries to fall back and takes a third base, takes the gold base. A little bit of a gamble here by him. He knows that he needs that surplus in income if he ever wants to catch up with his opponent in overall army size. And there come the first few EMPs, and the rest of the bio armies moving in as well. This is not looking good for Khaldor. So many EMPs already, but the Terran player has to move back for now, because the overwhelming amount of the zealots is just a little bit too tough to handle with the 3-3 upgrades. But still, we have him with that army, we have him with the minefield. He has the time that he needs to go for his upgrades. He can start the +3 attack upgrade if he wants to, and the Protoss player is once again trying to move in, trying to now run with that upgrade advantage. 3-3 against 2-2. That's the story of the game right now. We also see the Terran player moving in once again. Resources lost. Let's have a look. 7,800 against 5,400. And one of the things that he doesn't know is that there is a third base. He has lost that Marine down here, so he might, of course, realize that there has to be a third base or something. He himself wants to take a fourth, but the double drop is now going straight for that gold base, and that might ruin those probes day, because if they go down here now as well, then Crew is in even more double than he already is. And there it is, drop moving in the Terran army. The Protoss army is still a little bit too far away. He might be able to snipe that Nexus. I don't think so, not quite. But at least he's able to deny mining for a little bit and kill even more harvesters. +3 attack upgrade has been started as well to the top right of the map. And the drop, of course, heading straight for that main base. And the High Templars are doing what they can here, but there's not a whole lot to deal with that. Wow, we need to be careful that nothing gets close to the Medivacs here anymore. Not even a High Templar, even though the energy is, of course, already zapped away. So for now, they are safe. But HeroMarine is now on 200 supply and racking up that bank, and he wants to go in. He wants to do the damage now. He's lacking gas, or he would have started the +3 armor upgrade a long time ago. But for now, for him, it's really going to be all about setting up the Widow Mines here, trying to just force that third base down. And there comes the first storm. He takes it, but moves in again. The ghost numbers here at 19. And, well, they kill the first units immediately. Where are those EMPs? The Widow Mines get their shots off. The EMPs go in. The shields are gone. HeroMarine drops in supply, yes, but Krr is losing way too much here. He's losing the Colossus as well, and the Terran player still going strong here with 64 army supply against 43. He can rebuild easily here. He has the resources to do that. Is just kiting away from his opponent, trying to get on a grasp of all of those zealots, because they charge in again, and the ground army of Krr might be impressive, but I don't think that it's going to be impressive enough to win the game for him here. He already has a lead in the best of 3 series, but it looks like we might have to play on a third map here. HeroMarine with another drop on the high ground. He really wants to take those harvesters down, deny the mining here at the third base, and that's kind of all that he has to do. He's on 4 bases already on his own, and he has a gold base amongst that, so he's just racking up another army. The reinforcements, once they will stream in, should be able to finish the job. Krr is starting to fall apart here a little bit. He's moving in with a few zealots on the other hand at the third base, and that is absolutely undefeated, so that's something where he might be able to do the damage that he needs to come back into the game and to really cut HeroMarine off his support. But for now we have at least a few Marauders moving in to assist here, but quite a lot of SCVs already killed. Not as many though as we've seen probes already die in this game. 42 probes and 11 SCVs over the course of the entire game. 60 zealots. Very, very zealot heavy playstyle. And that's also why actually all those ghost mineral patches are now so important for Krr, because with that additional mineral income, he can just make sure that he puts all of those gateways to some use. And he's already up to, well, 52 army supply again. That would matter if HeroMarine wouldn't be at 120 at this point. So with a 77 supply overall surplus, he's starting to go for that third base once again. Moving in here, and HeroMarine, yes, he's trying to finish it. There come the EMPs. The storm's not strong enough, and with another stem, he's hitting the T button like a boss, and that's game. HeroMarine forces game number 3 here in the first best of 3 series at the Winamax Expresso Invitational.